Yo, what's up guys, it's Cross, and in this video, I'll be going over the top 5 best stretch resolutions for Chapter 4. I really wanted to make this video right before the new season starts so that you guys can have a little edge on the competition right off the bat. So yeah, with that said, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. Alright boys, let's get right into the video. At my number 5 spot, we have 1650 by 1080. That is the res we're going to start off with. This is known as the old Martas res. Maybe like a year or two ago, Martas was using this res, and every arena kid and their mom was using this res. This was super popular at the time, and a few people do actually use it. I know some arena players still use this res, but overall, it's pretty basic and overall a safer option. If you guys want to just get started with stretch resolution, this is a good way to start. And if you honestly don't really like this res, you could play around with other reses. You could wait, and of course, I'm going to talk about some other reses in this video, so you can listen to those, see what you guys want. But if you guys are just starting out with a res, a safe option to go with is 1650 by 1080. I found that it doesn't work well with my playstyle personally, but overall, it is a solid res. Heading over into our number 4 spot, we have 1440 by 1080. Now, this is absolutely absurd. I know Martas actually did use this res, but only for a short amount of time, because this is the most stretched res I would ever possibly go. And I think about a year ago or two, I was actually using this res for a decent amount of time. I used this for about 3 months in Arena, and it actually felt amazing. Like, my frame rates never dropped below 240. It was very, very stable, and my game felt insanely smooth 24/7, and it was great. The only problem was it makes your game look very blurry and distorted, so use this res at your own risk, but it definitely helps with frames, and if you have a low-end PC, this res is going to help you so much, especially in late game situations. So again, use this res at your own risk, but 1440 by 1080 goes in my number 4 spot. Alright, and heading into our number 3 spot, I actually have 1750 by 1080. And 1750 by 1080, this is more of a well-known res. It is used by many pros. I don't know which current specific pros that are using this, but I do know that a lot did use this, especially in this past FNCS. But honestly, this res is used for primarily aim and frame rate. It kind of is a nice balance between the two. And this is best for medium to low tier PCs, and I tried out this res. It doesn't work for my playstyle. Again, you just have to kind of play around with the reses and see which one best fits your playstyle. Like, how blurry do you want your screen to be? Do you want it more stretched for better performance, or do you want it less stretched for better aim? Honestly, you're just gonna have to find the best of both worlds there, but this is a nice medium. If you guys want to try this out, I know a lot of pros do recommend 1750 by 1080. It is another safe choice, but I find that it goes in my number 3 spot, right down the middle, right down the line. It is a very solid res. Heading into my number 2 spot, not much different. This is 1720 by 1080, and I know a lot of you guys might be like, "Hi Cross, what's the difference between 1750 and 1720 if, you know, the Y resolution is both 1080? There's actually a decent amount of difference, because in those 30 pixels, you know, there is going to be a little less stretched or more stretched. But 1720 by 1080 is actually most used currently. It is the most popular res used by Fortnite pros. It is primarily used by Peterbot, and Peterbot kind of made this res famous. He was using this res in creative wagers, all that, and people would, you know, do exclamation mark resolution in his Twitch chat, and it would come up as 1720, and that is kind of what he was known for, is that 1720 resolution. So I definitely strongly recommend this, especially since a lot of pros started using this and they stuck with it, and I would say this is probably the best resolution for aim specifically. I found that once you get used to it, your aim is going to be crazy on this resolution, and I'm not going to say that for everybody, but for me personally, I feel like I'm kind of an average player, or maybe a little above average, but my aim definitely improved a lot. I did switch off of it for content reasons, but I would strongly recommend 1720, and of course my number 1 resolution, which I'll get to in a second. But 1720 by 1080 is a very solid res. I would definitely try it out for you guys and for yourselves. Play around with it for a couple days, see if you like it. If not, you could always switch. But yeah, let's get into the number 1 spot. In my number 1 spot, I actually have 1550 by 1080, which is actually the most recent stretch resolution that I made a review on. You guys can go check that out. I'll have it linked in the description below, and it also explains how to get this stretch resolution and other stretch resolutions. If you just follow that tutorial, it'll help you guys out. It is a great video. So 1550 by 1080, I found that this is overall the best of both worlds for aim and frame rate. This is amazing in late game situations, and it's not too stretched like 1440, but it is a kind of a nice medium for me because I like my game stretched a decent amount, but not too stretched to where it's too blurry. I found that 1550 isn't quite that blurry, especially on my monitor. I do have a really high tier PC, so it also doesn't really affect it that much. But 1550 is very nice, and I found that, especially when doing piece control and stuff like that, it makes your game look really nice and very smooth. So this is overall my personal favorite, and I'm a little bit biased towards this one. I know a lot of people are going to go with 1720, but I found that 1550 by 1080 works best for me. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was my top 5 best stretch resolutions for Fortnite. Make sure to drop in the comments below what your favorite stretch res was of this video. And with all that said, make sure to like and subscribe, and peace.